folks, welcome to Dunsy's Guitar World, and welcome to, turn my screen around here, the Edinburgh Playhouse Theatre. Now, having to narrate this manually back in my control studio because the bloody traffic noise was so loud. So this was built in August 1929, that's when it opened. Holds just over 3,000 people. What a beautiful old theatre. I think it's the largest non-sporting theatre in the UK, if you can believe that. So a ton of great bands here. Cheap Trick, Dio, Iron Maiden, Metallica, Anthrax, the list goes on. And Motley Crue. Got my Motley Crue hat on, as you can see. And I also saw ACDC. Saw ACDC twice here. October 1982 on the For Those About to Rock tour, and January 1986 on the Fly on the Wall tour. So ACDC, October 1982. There's a couple of stories here. So we were 16. There was 2 nights, I can't remember if we went on the Sunday or the Monday. But my mate, drumming the band, he was a big ACDC fan. And he went and dressed as Angus, and dressed as Angus Young in the school uniform. I mean, we didn't have to wear a school uniform, but he was wearing a school uniform to the gig. I feel like Angus, and we rocked up to the door to get in the security guard says to him, sorry mate, you can't get in dressed like that. The band have said nobody can get in dressed like Angus because people are getting confused with who's Angus and who's not. And the look on my mate's face, honestly, dear oh dear, it's like somebody taking a poop in his kettle. He was devastated. The bouncer was like, oh, I'm only kidding. So we get in. ACDC, and the sport band was Y&T. I'd heard Y&T, but I'd never seen them live. I think it was maybe their first Scottish dates. And the Playhouse, down in the stalls, we were in the stalls. Here's a map of the Playhouse. There's like a gap between the front stalls and the back stalls. And right along that gap, there's always like security bouncer types people to stop people getting too far forward. You know, if you paid your extra money to get in the front row, you want to be in the front row. You don't want all these guys in the cheap seats jumping over and stealing your seats. So anyway, as soon as the lights go down, everybody piles forward, pushes past the security, jumps over into the front. So there's maybe about, I don't know, 200 seats in the front. There's about 400 people in them all standing up. So anyway, Y&T are playing. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm on the same side Dave Meniketti's on. Maybe he was in the middle, can't remember. But anyway, I was in the front of Dave Meniketti, and halfway through the solo in Forever, he bust his top E string. Bing! And he just kept playing. Just finished the rest of it. I'd never seen anything like it. Finished the rest of the solo. I mean, I'm 16 thinking, gee, whoa, that's professionalism and a half. So yeah, that was Y&T. So then there's a sort of 30-minute intermission. I mean, back in the day, people would have came out and sold you ice cream, but it was a heavy metal concert. There's none of that sort of stuff. So ACDC come on. Again, the lights go down. Charge forward, past the bouncers over the seats, gets to the left-hand side of the stage, near Malcolm's side of the stage. Oh, what a gig, what a sound. I'll put a link down below. There's a recording of the gig. It came on with Hell's Bells. Oh dear, unbelievable. You can hear the Scottish crowd going crazy. I mean, between you and me, I think a few people had a couple of beers. So anyway, ACDC are playing away, and then it comes to Angus's solo, and he starts taking his clothes off, starts stripping. Keeps his pants on though, I mean, nothing untowards in those days. And he throws his tie out, and he throws it in the direction of where I'm standing. So I put my hand out, grab onto the end of Angus's tie, and about 6 other guys who were all bigger than me. I was only 16, and I'm not even big now, I was small now. All grab onto Angus's tie. Now it kind of started off a bit of pulling, you know, that's mine, give me that. And it was, you know, I'd say light-hearted, but it was slightly more serious than that. But then, punches started getting thrown, you know, boosh, boosh, boosh. Right, left and centre, people were throwing punches to get Angus's tie, and I thought, you know what, I wouldn't mind Angus's tie, but what a black eye. So I eventually let go, and to this day I don't own a tie of Angus Young, the guitarist of ACDC, from Scotland and Australia, Australia and Scots. He was young brother as well. So what's your point, Dunsy? My point is, I downloaded a backing track from Now You Shred. What a talented chap Now You Shred is, and it was titled ACDC style backing track in B minor, I think it was. And I thought to myself, I wonder if I can sound a bit like ACDC. I mean, it sounds like ACDC and the Cult. Can I sound like ACDC on a Telecaster? Luckily I have a pink paisley pattern Telecaster made by Tokai Japan. Here's some guy in my house showing it. And I thought, I'll use a Telecaster and I'll use a P90 guitar. So I used my Greco EG56-60 with P90's, hot lick Greco P90's. And I think it's ended up sounding pretty good, so that was my whole story here. It was Edinburgh Playhouse. I saw ACDC there. I'll put a list of all the bands that I saw at Edinburgh Playhouse. I mean, it was an unbelievable place to go and see concerts. You know, you would go to a gig back in those days. It was before sort of noise suppressors and stuff like that. Before the band came on, you could hear the amplifiers humming. You know, I mean, you could literally hear the sound of the buzzing of the amplifiers. It was so loud, you know. You don't get that these days. And yeah, my ACDC story, the Playhouse, and my video of me playing an ACDC style guitar to an ACDC style backing track by Now You Said. I think that's everything. Thank you for watching, folks. It's a privilege and a pleasure bringing you content on Dunsy's Guitar World. Cheers for now.